thank you for joining me. My name is John Simpson, and I'd like to talk to you about a particular agency that we've all probably been through, but don't know too much about. So, if you're going to be going anywhere in the world, outside of your country, most likely you're going to have to fly there. As well, even if you're looking to go through any other mode of transportation, this agency still exists to keep our protection throughout our travels. This agency is more than likely as well to molest you legally while you're at an airport or maybe somewhere else that they may feel is suited. So let me tell you a little bit about this agency called the TSA. So what is the TSA exactly? The TSA is an agency that was developed after 9/11, an event that caused much horror and fear throughout the entire United States of America that led to the implementation of this agency only 1 month after the actual happening. So why do we actually need the TSA? I mean, before 9/11, everything seemed like it was supposed to be all right. Did we really need an agency protecting us? We were supposedly living under goodwill. Everybody was going to their countries safely. There were no incidences that really caused any major fear. But after 9/11, that really changed the psyche, I think, of the government to create this agency called the TSA. So, what the TSA really does, it seems in the public eye, is elderly strips, segregation, and causes damage to your good name. So in this line where we usually have to walk through and take off a few of our accessories, even close our electronics and put them away, what the TSA is really intended to do is supposedly to help us be safer. But in the light of humankind, do we really need to be that safe for us to need to give up a freedom to feel safe? I think it's quite the contrary, actually. So what I think we need to do is not to keep going with the same system that was developed out of fear and partially anger, but we need to reform the system, and we need to change the system in a way that doesn't make it seem like it's hostile against the very people it's meant to protect. So, like I said, if you're going to be flying, there are a number of incidences, according to the New York Daily, that there have been elderly people that have had to strip naked and have actually won in lawsuits against the TSA as they were pronounced unconstitutional by the court. There was also a few cases pronounced by the Hill Journal that segregation was possibly involved in a number of cases where the TSA pulled aside some specific races and groups of people under random acts of security checks. As well, there was one incident under the New York Times that was pronounced about a few people that actually, even though they were innocent, still couldn't clear their name after they were pretty much cleared by the TSA itself. When they eventually went to go over to another flight, they said they were on the no-fly list and didn't let them go. So, what I feel like needs to happen is that the TSA should be reformed because it's not really protecting us anymore. It's more of labeling us, and it's more about making these groups of people seem like they're dangerous, and that is eventually going to create a really hateful attitude towards the TSA, and it already has in today's society and even in the public eye. Many jokes are made about the TSA, many puns and everything. So many negativity has evolved because of the TSA. What I think that we can do is that we can raise our voices not through fists or not through motions or not through anything other than just a good old petition. Modern day, it only takes 100 signatures to start a petition. Then, if you want to actually get it up to the government and into the executive branch for notifying the president, it only takes 100,000 petitions. Imagine a world where you would be able to fly without having to be patted down or put through these random security checks here and there, or even, these probably lackluster employees coming into contact with your things or you. So imagine this world where you would be able to use modern technology where you would be able to pass through security, possibly without even having to stop, and just hop right on board your plane. I feel like that is the world that we deserve to live in after all of the taxes that we pay and after everything that we've been through. I really hope that all of you are able to look at yourselves and say, I'd like to fly to some other country without being in fear of an agency that was initially made to protect us. I think it is more than necessary that we start to raise our voices about the TSA, because it's evolved into something that really we didn't want it to ever become. We had no idea of it ever becoming. Unfortunately, because of a really bad example being 9/11, that's just an example of us making an agency out of something that we initially took as fear. So, modern day, we need to really think about the future and the future of travel and the really people's lives and being able to travel freely and feel free while they're in the sky flying to their dreams. So thank you very much, and I hope that we all get to signing this petition soon and starting a reform that needs to be the TSA.